Hey there. My name is Joe Reitz, and I just wanted to share something that the team and I at Vercel have been cooking on as a marketing automation kind of project over the last really just month and a half or so. And at Vercel, we have this big. I think one of the coolest things about working at Vercel is we have a big culture around working in the open, and I think and open sourcing as much as we can. So. I'm really excited about, not necessarily this tool or how we may or may not use it, but just what this means for app development at scale at any business, enterprise or startup, and anything in between. I think it's really incumbent upon us as operators to learn kind of the skills. We've lived with the constraints of B2B SaaS software or B2C SaaS software for 15, 20 years, a lot of us. And, just getting used to the fact of like, oh, well, this will maybe be prioritized on the roadmap in 2064, but like it's not the shiny object right now. We have the ability to build our own stuff. So I think where marketing technology and all SaaS technology, all apps are heading is how extensible can you be? How can you provide a good base experience and then let people build on top of it? So that's what I want to show is Slipstream is, in marketing ops, we do a lot of campaigns, especially through email. I do think there's a lot of room here to expand this beyond just email, but where like incorporate paid, do like ROAS, understand AI insights of what are the motions that are driving pipeline and revenue, what are the repeatable things that we should consider doing more, what are the highest performing campaigns, all of that stuff. But there's also still the day-to-day of like, we're going to send emails, we're going to do just basic campaign ops. So what we've built here in Slipstream is we have the Vercel AI Gateway, which allows us to choose any AI model for any use case. So the marketing hook I like to say is let's choose the best model for any given task. And then we also have Vercel workflows, which enable us to do some things that I don't think I've seen in other modern maps. I'm sure this will be something that's super common in like 6 months to a year, but we'll take you through them in a moment. But the first thing is we have our campaign creation experience kind of on the rails where, the user just comes in, they pick, one of 4 basic types. It's probably going to be one of these 3 basic types. We run a lot of events at Vercel. As you're going through this, it will automatically create a campaign in Salesforce, but also create the campaign naming convention here for you. It's just built into the tool. So like where we normally have a marketer go into our marketing toolkit, create the campaign name from the generated thing, it all just happens in one flow. And then you can see as they choose a channel, you might have different progression statuses depending on what the type of event is. For example, a webinar, there's going to be like the on-demand success status at the end. But similar to other marketing automation platforms, there's also the notion of campaign templates. So imagine these like campaigns in a box where we could have workflows, we could have assets. They're all templatized, and within these campaigns, what we can even do is the old school efficiency play of just dynamic variables and having these tokens throughout where we can just slot in dates and event names and things like that. I spoke at a conference literally 10 years ago about the game of clones and how this can increase efficiency in campaign ops by 80%. That game has changed a lot. Where we're heading more towards, and within, I'll get there in a second, but within this campaign structure, we also, you can see very visual, very quickly, no fluff, where people are at by status and like, basic high level performance metrics. But where we're really heading, as I was saying on the efficiency gains of like the last 15, 20 years of marketing automation, is a more agentic approach. Like today, we just have a simple email builder here where you can see I have, regular tokens I can use. I can also, I'll talk about how we can use AI content alongside static content. And you can see even here the use case of like how you would format an email and then like slot in like a custom intro based on whatever factors, whatever the prompt is. But if you take this and the email builder that Ethan shared using React Email, and you add a little bit of agentic magic to the top, you could easily have a marketer just drop a campaign brief or just prompt kind of, here's what I kind of want the email to be. Even have it put in your own brand voice and have it all created in a moment's notice. We haven't built that for emails yet, but what we have done is built a more agentic audience builder. So, this is an easy one I like to use. It's a silly piece of targeting of like executives in retail or anyone who's VP or above in whatever it said, enterprise accounts. And you can see that we have our data dictionary implemented in this, and we're able to inform the system of what our fields mean, how we use them, and it's able to assemble great targeting just from that. And this is, again, like a month and a half of just tinkering around in the evenings and weekends. And it's already showing a lot of promise in terms of how we can accelerate not just marketing output, but if we, the age-old idea, if there's more output, fewer hands needed to do it, then all we need to do is do more of it and we get incremental pipeline. You start to imagine really quickly where this goes. But one of the coolest things about these workflows is that we are built on Vercel workflows. And yes, I work at Vercel, so I'm naturally going to be very Vercel-pilled in this. But this is a step I don't think I've seen in any other marketing automation platform, but I'm sure it's coming to all of them very soon. And that's the ability to have a flow step where you can have AI prompting done. So in this example, I'm just prompting. The prompt's not really worthwhile. It's just, if you're based on what your title is, I send an email internally to say, insert a message about how this app would benefit them in their career. So for like designers, it's like, hey, less stakeholder requests. You can focus more on bigger impact work. For marketers, it's like, do more quickly with fewer heads, and so on and so forth. And then for execs, it was like, marketing automation platforms are expensive. So like, how would that change Vercel's trajectory over time of like, what if we didn't spend millions of dollars over the course of years? But all you simply have to do is you set up your prompt, you choose your model. There's a lot more you can do in terms of, and we could make this whatever, but if you want to do scoring or enrich contact details or data or anything you want to think of. You could drop a prompt in here, choose the model, store it to a temporary value, and then be able to call that temporary value in your email, as you saw in the example I showed you a second ago. So what's cool about that is I can even go to this flow step, preview the email statically. I'm not going to show anybody's email address here and all that, but I can... I have the ability to select a contact and then run the AI steps and see what the rendered content would be for that person. The question was asked to me a couple of years ago of like, what would it take for you to fully send an email where the agent just cooks and you don't touch it? At that point, I said a couple of years of AI development, but I think we're getting very close to that day. So I think it's just ripe for testing and experimentation. For the bold, but beyond that, like there's a normal scheduling sort of function, and I actually have like a 3-step thing here when it's a new campaign that you have to arm it, execute it, and then triple confirm that you meant to do it. But even here, when you're running a batch again, it's going to tell you how many people are affected, 0, because there's no one in my audience list. And then, yes, I actually do mean to run this right now. And you have all the normal controls. If you can run every time, once a day, once a week. We need to make this more customizable of once every X minutes, hours, whatever. We can do it manually. We can do it scheduled, daily, weekly, monthly, whatever. And then, of course, we're just hitting an API to send these emails. So we get the responses back of like opens, clicks, unsubscribes, etc. There's still a ton of work to do here, not undercutting it, but it's not such a long walk anymore where a couple people can just, with a little bit of focus, create something really elegant and complex. And then, of course, we have the ability to import lists, and I think I mentioned tokens already. That's campaigns. This is all, like I said, month and a half of tinkering. We still have a lot of work to do on like our asset library, how we manage audiences, all up. Our database, I don't want to expose people's email addresses. It's just internal Vercellians right now. That's all 304 of these contacts. But it's just an easy way to go see people's data and then be able to change data values one to one across like a single record. Very common use case, and then also being able to get into audit trails. We need to build up the analytics page to be a little bit. There's nothing in it right now, but this would be where we drop AI insights of like what's working, what's not, what's driving pipe, what's driving revenue, what should we do more of, what should we do less of, what's our return on ad spend. All those kinds of insights would be here at available at a glance and powered through again the AI gateway. On the admin panel, though, we have all the normal stuff of like you can configure email delivery settings, any sort of integrations, custom APIs. So like as we build more stuff, we can just bolt it onto this, create a new, generate our keys, do all the stuff we need to do, test connections, and off we run. We have a Salesforce integration already set up. We do need to set up other things like Snowflake for product eventing and things like that, but like, yeah, I mean, it's there's a million things to consider. We have our field management system here where we can see the field. This is kind of how the data dictionary works with the AI audience building. But yeah, I mean, we're doing pretty good of building. If nothing else, like I said, I don't know if this has legs, if we're going to continue to use it for anything. But like, I think, more than anything, I think this is just sort of a clarion call to all operators of like, we have an opportunity to reshape our field and not work in the bounds of, one piece of software or this piece of software. Is this better than that? The thing you build and have control over is always going to have more flexibility. And like, yes, there's some risk and liability that comes with that, and that's not going to be for everybody. But that's where I go back to whether you build your own thing or you have a good baseline system. The key is extensibility. So how much can I build onto an excellent platform already? And I think that's the very cool thing about working at Vercel right now is like every team is operating with that mode. But also, just for us and in our career as like semi-technical but not developer sort of grade, it's an interesting jumping off point. The other thing I didn't mention that is of little consequence is there's a dark mode. It's beautiful, and everything renders great. But hope you took something from this. Just wanted to share something that has always been a passion project of mine. Like I said, I don't know if we're actually gonna do anything with this, but yeah, I think eyes up.